4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello. This is the GES TV. I can call it like this because we are already live for 2 weeks consecutively, and here we are with a lot of guests, with most of the 200 speakers live straight away from their homes or during their work days. And here I have today Hassan. Hi, Hassan. How are you today?
Hello, Andrea. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me this platform to share my stories and others as well. I believe that you're doing a very great and a brilliant job with the Global Empowerment Summit. It's a very inspiring initiative, so thank you for that. And yes, I am doing very well. Thank you for asking. How are you today?
Let us know a little bit more about you. Who is Hassan? What's your favorite thing to do? Do you do sports? Do you love classic music, or you like other types of music? Tell us a little bit more about your personality.
Definitely. I'm more happy to tell that. Let me just answer that question in a very untraditional way. I could say that Hassan, something that defines Hassan is that Hassan is a youth enthusiast. I believe in everything, and I attach myself to everything related to youth, whether it's empowerment, inclusion, developing their skills. And that's why I'm a member of a youth organization, youth NGO, known as IWEL, the International Welfare Leadership, Economic Leadership Dialogue. We are a youth community. We aspire and inspire young leaders to become the leaders of tomorrow. I am the event assistant in that organization. I help them in planning and executing youth development programs, CSR projects, and networking events. So yeah, that's a little definition about me if I try to define myself. About the sports, yes, I do love the football. I'm a big fan of football. I'm not going to mention the team. I'll just give it a secret. So yeah, for the music, I'm a big lover of jazz and classic music. That may surprise you, but I'm a big lover of that. Yeah, so in my free time, I like to read about social philosophy, about the things that impact the community, because I'm a lover of the community. I like to help the community. I like to be engaged with the community. So most of the time, I make myself busy with those things. Thank you.
And I really love the work that the iWorld was doing. Actually, I'm really impressed by everything what you do. I will just mute you because we have a little bit of echo. So I will just keep you muted until we speak. It was amazing to join in. And when I saw the room filled with students, almost 200 people, you did an amazing job at this summit. And we were showing it through our website, and the people could also join you and watch you on YouTube. And yeah. It's a really great job, guys. I learned a lot from you, and it has been a great experience. So let's go further about Hassan. Like, we know already what is your interest. We know you like classic and jazz music. I actually was assuming that you are someone like that from the personality that I met throughout this time, and then you were supporting me in the background. So. The people know that I do this summit alone, but some of the beautiful content out there are from Hassan, working very rigorously and offering his help for me by preparing the timetables and helping me with all those visuals. And it takes a lot of weight down from my shoulder. I really thank you for that, Hassan. So let's go further with your story. So, Hassan, what is your inspiring story, the story of your self-exploration journey?
Thank you, Andrea. Well, I can say that the most interesting part of my story is this journey of discovering yourself and what are your capabilities. Um, Believe me, I do associate myself now. The most skill that I have is leadership and management. Um, if you asked me 3 years ago, I wouldn't imagine myself having those skills, the leadership and management skills. I've never imagined in my life that I will have the capabilities, I will have the skills that are needed for such fields. In fact, I haven't led anyone starting from my kindergarten to the high school. I've never been to clubs. I've never participated in volunteering activities. I've never been in the scout even also. So it all started when I entered the university here in Malaysia 1 year and a half ago. And yeah, this is actually something that was great. Sometimes you discover your true self when you actually move from one environment to another. So yeah, it's really very wise to just hit the road sometimes and then settle somewhere else and see which part of yourself thrives in there. So my story started in a year and a half ago when I decided to run for the student council as the international student representative. The idea was not in my mind in the first place. I wasn't really sure what to do. I was very skeptic, but I had some amazing friends who pushed me, who saw something in me, and who encouraged me. And this is really a very important thing, to surround yourself with people who love you, who see the good thing in you, who see your capabilities and your skills and your abilities, because they will actually help you throughout the journey. So it really helped me to have such friends that guided me and encouraged me to run for this. So with the skepticism, I nominated myself. And also, there was one more thing that was driving me, because in order for you to step out from your comfort zone, there should be some inner power that's driving you. And that value was change for me. I wanted to change, to be a leader of change in my university. I wanted to be a breaker of a language breaker, barrier breaker, and connection bridge between the international students and local students. um, I wanted to serve the international community, and I thought that what better thing than representing them and being an example for them. So I nominated myself, and I remember we had our first town hall event where the nominators will see each other and then they will present their projects. I really did very bad. It was very embarrassing. I remember it till now. My friends were so saddened and worried about that. But everything has a start, I guess. So it was a horrible day for me, but I learned through the trial and error. And this is one more important thing: is that sometimes you really don't know how to do things, but you have the intention, you have the willingness. As long as you have that driver, that power driving you, I think you're just good to go. You will discover things throughout the road. The process will just come, and you will just learn throughout the journey. So don't be afraid of being don't be afraid of not knowing some of the skills or the things that you want to explore. It's just absolutely fun. You just go there and be confident. And as the same very old saying goes, fake it until you make it. So I remember in the next actually event where I was in the stage, I did horrible also, but a little much better than before. And that is, I was just faking it until I was making it. So later on, it will just accumulate, and then you will just perfect it.
So
You will just see yourself.
how did you deal with your fears? Like I know from dancing from the old times, I remember when I always had the stage fright, before going on the
Yeah.
stage. So how is it for you when you were before this speech that you're mentioning? All these fears were coming up. So how do you push them down? How do you inspire yourself to still keep on going towards the audience and still trying to make it?
Yes, thank you, Andrea. That's a good question. Well, the first thing is that you really need to prepare. You have to make rehearsals, especially if you are in the beginnings. If you haven't been a public speaker before, you really need to prepare so much. Sometimes you will need to memorize the whole script, everything you're going to say, how you're going to present yourself, the gestures that you will give, the body language that you will give. So you just have to practice it in the first place and give much time to that. The second thing is that you just need to remember the purpose that why you are here and what are you doing here. So my purpose was to be a change leader, a change maker. So that was the thing that was driving me. So you will need to have that belief inside you, that thing that drives you in obstacles or when you face fears. So I think those were the two important things that helped me. And the other thing was the friends, the environment. Everyone was pushing me, even though it was a bit weird in the beginnings, but everyone was encouraging me. So you need to surround yourself with people that lifts you up. Those were the three things that helped me in that process.
If there would be someone from your same age group as you are,
Yes.
what would you tell them? How could they? What was changing with you when you were the shy person who was not really the person who is leading, and your management and leadership skills were not so good? So what's in between? What will they go through? What have you been going through?
In terms for you to become like from to shift from introvert to extrovert, um, it actually just needs the willingness to do and a purpose. So you need something that drives you. And the other thing is that sometimes there are some skills, some capabilities that are hidden inside us. We have some hidden talents, and they actually flourish in the right environment. So if you were given the chance, the opportunity to do something, um, I think it will help very much, because before I didn't have the environment, I didn't have the platform, so I wasn't totally ready. Even though some of the skills maybe they were there, but I didn't discover them. So sometimes you have all the materials that you need with you, but you haven't discovered them. So you just need the right environment. You just need to be very, very, very focused to your goal. You need to really plan ahead. You need to know what you really want and what you actually want to achieve. You have to have a very clear vision of the end of the journey, if I may say so. So those things actually could help you uh, become the better you.
Very, very good tips here. If the audience and especially young people are watching us, this is the message from the youth to the youth. So take it. And the next thing that I want to ask you is that the more I talk to iWorld and the kids in this community, and how you deal with the people, it's very professional. So tell me the way, like, where is this professionalism coming from? Although you are very young, but you are also conducting the things, communicating on a way that is really, really professional, like real leaders in a real time. Do you learn it within iWell from the speakers and from the people who are supporting you, or it's just the community forming itself, or you learn from role models? How do you do that?
Thank you, Andrea, for that. I am, as I said before, I am a believer that youth are capable of change, of leading in complexities, of managing huge things. It's just that the perception that the youth are still young, they don't have that much experience, so they may actually do some errors, and they may not be perfect in doing something like leadership, managerial things, project management, organizing events, networking events, and etc. But it actually just needs a true vision, and it needs a supportive network. I think times have changed now. So at a younger age, you could have an access to some of the skills, some of the materials that earlier, maybe in a decade or 2 decades before, you couldn't have access to that uh, unless you go through a certain path of experience. So I think the digitalization of the concepts and the easy access of having of learning and developing the skills actually helped us, and also our enthusiasm and our motivation to do change, to be change makers, to lead. It is what's driving us as well. Apart from that, we do our own training. We benefit from the projects that we're doing. So it's just a combination of so many things.
So also, let's just talk a little bit more about these topics. I'm so interested in this. Like when you are going to the workforce, right, and you want to get a job, and you just have been out of the university, many of you are getting these comments like you don't have experience. But what do you think should change in the older generation? To why should they, if you should convince them, right? Why is it super important to have young workforce and their skill set, which is totally different from other generations, right? At the company, why is it important to have a diverse kind of employee
Yes,
structure?
thank you. I think the most important thing is that youth brings with them innovation and creativity, and we are living in the world of innovation and creativity. It's a very fast-paced world. If you're not much innovative, if you're not creative, you will actually lose a lot in terms of revenue, in terms of customers, and everything. Speaking of a business, from a business prospect, so you need that fuel of youth to actually display and bring some new ideas and bring some other perspective, because the youth are seeing things from a different perspective. They are viewing things from a different horizon. So we need actually to combine those things. We have these youth who are full of passion, energy, innovation, and creativity, and then we have the older generation who are more experienced on how to articulate and do things. So when we combine those things, it will be the magic. How can I say the magic stick, if I could say so? And yeah, amazing things will happen. So the most important thing that the older generation should consider when it comes to younger generation is that the younger generation brings with them the innovation and creativity of their world, and then they just drive the culture, the business, and everything with that.
Beautiful message, and I just can confirm it. Like whatever I saw during this summit, which is trying to connect the young and the wise. Whenever there was a room where there was a younger person and the older person, at some
Yes.
place, at some point of the conversation, they were always finding each other, and they started to give each other the things that they have. Like the curiosity was coming from the younger guys, and they were asking
Definitely.
questions that no one asked
Yes.
the elder people before. And then came in the picture the experience of the older, the wise generation, and it's just proved me that everyone is hungry for conversations like this, and
Yes.
it's really important to converse between generations so that, like in the old times, right, it's getting back to experience and knowledge sharing and skill share, and together you can create something totally different.
Definitely, definitely. And nowadays, transferring the experience and sharing the experience is way much easier because of the digital platforms of this new era we're living in. It's really so smooth to share and gain experience at a much very younger age and at a much early time. So it saves cost and time. For instance, if you were to gain experience of certain thing in maybe a couple of 5 to 10 years, I do believe that now you can just gain it in a matter of, it will be a matter of 2 to 3 years for you to just absolutely gain that. And I have seen that, I have personally seen that, and the team in iWorld have personally experienced that. So it's something we have witnessed.
So, what would be your message to the wise generation out there? If you could change something or could ask them to change some of their approach or perspective, which one would be that you would like to change and how?
Uh, Thank
Towards
you.
the
And
youth.
is
Towards the
that for
youth.
the, yes, is that for the older generation or?
Now it's for the wise generation
Okay,
first. Yes.
all right,
As a representative of the youth, tell us something that we
sure.
should know.
I could say my message could be, especially for the youth, I could say maybe um, you should not be afraid of trying things, and you should not be afraid of developing new skills, because we are living in a very in an ever changing world. It's very fast paced. So, and you are a youngster, you are a youth, so you will need to have that hunger for trying new things, you know discovering new things, and just unleashing the potentials of you. The other thing that I could say is that we need to really be wise when it comes to spending our time. We need to be very smart on who we spend our time with, and what we spend our time on, and how we spend it, because ultimately that will shape you. If you spend it with a group of passionate individuals that have dreams, visions, and things to achieve, you will just be just like them. You will act like them, and then you will just gain the skills, the ideology, and how they think, and that will lead you to the ultimate success. On the other hand, if your surrounding is not that much enthusiastic to doing things, they will just drag you, and you won't have that much opportunity for change, for discovering yourself, for doing the things that you are capable of. So yeah, I could say that.
And let's say one more message for the wise generation. What would be that as someone from the young people? What would
Um,
be your message to the wise?
um, be patient to us, and yeah, be more actually open. But I do think that this is actually happening. So yeah, we will just encourage them to be accelerating more in that aspect.
Beautiful, beautiful talking to you. You are just as a talented young man as I imagined, and the audience knows that Hassan is helping me with some imaginary in the background, and I'm really, really loving the work that he's doing. He's an amazing leader already, and he's a really good speaker, as you could see. So there's so much value in each and every one of us, no matter which generation we are from. But just as Hassan said, we have to be open towards each other, and we have to create a safe environment where we both can speak up and we both listen to each other, and then magical things happen, right?
Definitely, definitely, I totally agree with that.
So
And
we will
thank
just
you,
say hi
Andrea.
to
Yes,
Anis. Thank you for Anis for being here just to
hello,
greet the
Anis. Hi.
audience.
Thank you for being here.
And
So
thank
yeah,
you for being
thank
here, Hassan.
thank you, Andrea. You are really a true inspiration. So yeah, thank you very much for providing this platform, for inspiring us, for nurturing us. Yeah, thank you for everything.
We will meet soon, very, very soon. I'm so looking
Definitely sure.
forward to all the sessions that we'll have about creative leadership. I'm really happy to help iWeld and support you whatever you're doing, because it's just amazing. So let
Definitely.
me change up the studio. I will see you very soon at other panel discussions coming up. We will see Hassan, and he will be part of the
Absolutely.
discussions. And in the meantime, Emilia is in the studio, so let me help her in. And thank you very much, Hassan, for being here.
Thank you, Andrea. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye.
Here we go, dancing in the studio. Dancing in between sessions. So I'm with Emilia, and Emilia is already in the studio. Let me just unmute you. Let's see what's happening with the echo. Everything all right? I think it's good. How are you,
Hello.
Emilia? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Andrea?
I'm good. Look, we are the same colors. We are very aligned today.
Yeah, we are in red. I think this red is my lucky color,
That's
but I
good.
didn't
That's good.
expect you
So
wear red too.
we are vibrating lucky colors to the audience so that they can be happy today
Yes.
by seeing us and then getting the support from us. So, Emilia, we are having an exciting topic today, which is innovating
Yes.
education in technology, the school of tomorrow. Why are you so passionate about this topic?
Thank you, first of all, Andrea, and thank you, Global Empowerment Summit 2021, for having me for the second year. I really, really appreciate that, and especially when Andrea, you said, "Okay, Emilia, let's talk about this education, about technology." I even more excited to be part of this show and today, session, because Andrea has been basically my team has been working hard for this what you call it project, community project of ours. I think for the past like 1 year, we've been working very hard because we see how important the education. Yeah, I think everyone in the world agree that education is one of the, I think, important beside than food. You know, the normal the consumption that we have, but education is one of the most important in the world, not even in Malaysia. But what we see for the past, I think, 2 years, because of the pandemic, things that we did not expect and could happen. Of course, we know there's some challenges, in education, challenges in so many, but no one actually expected that COVID will happen. That's number one. Number two, they will happen up to that almost 2 years now. Maybe in the first time they just think that, oh, this is just a normal, like bird flu and all that. It will go eventually, and here we are. We try, we try to adapt to the new world. We try. I think, in fact, when as an adult, we also have to learn how to communicate like we are doing now, yeah, online and all that. I think if, let's say, 2 years ago, we might actually sit side by side now, Andrea. So what so what happened, I think, when the first, especially in Malaysia, when the first time they announced pandemic, they announced the MCO, yeah, I think somewhere March last year. The first thing that strike for the people is how we going to survive, lockdown at home and all that. And as a parents, as a mother myself, the second question that I have in mind, and I'm pretty sure the parents out there also have the similar thing that what I had, is what happened to the school. Because when you have children at school, I think that is one of the thing that strike you, yeah, because as an adult, we know that, okay, somehow we need to adapt, but how about the children? I think after 1.5 years, we can start to see there's some changes in education, particularly in Malaysia. But at the same time, we also see lots lot things is coming. It seems like, oh, converting to online sounds like very, very rational to do at this point of time. It's easy as like a snap, but in reality, it's not that easy. The reality is not that easy. Now, what make we jump into this? Okay, what happened is, maybe for the parents like me who able to provide. I think some a lot of parents out there, we will try our best to provide to our children, especially in terms of education. If let's say the online learning is needed, we will actually try our best to feed, but to feed to the by giving them devices, being with them and all that. But eventually we also we call it know that not everyone is like us. We have people in different community, we have people in different level, or even the different demography. Yeah, so different places they have different challenges in deploying, sustaining this online learning journey. So what happened is, for us, for me personally, when you first time actually struck into this pandemic, few things actually come to my mind. Number one, of course, devices. How many students actually have these devices? Because we know that the online class normally will run concurrently. Yeah, they run concurrently. It's not like, okay, standard one will run from 8 to 9, and then after that follow 9 to 10. No, it's not like that. It's like run concurrently. If the parents or the family have 4 children at different level, can you imagine how how chaos that can be? Because if let's say they have one devices or two devices, and here they need to actually attend the same no same class at the same time, different classes. That's number one. We don't even include yet how the parents who actually at that point of time still working, right? They have meetings and all that. We just focus on the devices. So we
And
know that
also the internet connection, also the internet
yeah,
connection is very
internet
important too.
connection. True, internet connection. Of course, internet connection devices. And what I think the most we focusing on, we know these two, internet connection and devices, is one is the challenges. But the third one that we actually focusing, the interest of the student to stay at school. And we know as a adult, sometimes if we even run the training online, the what you call it, the engagement that we actually receive adult to adult is a challenge for a trainer. Just imagine, we are talking about children, we are talking about teenagers, because they are they interest in what you call it, the subject is not interest them enough. The no the teacher is not attract, is not engaging them enough. They will start to lose interest in that subject, or generally it lost interest in school. Yeah, we can see a few of the challenges. If I can share, Andrea, some of the challenges that we can see is lack of motivation in self-learn. At school they have friends, they have peers, they have teachers in front. Sometimes children, teenagers being teenagers, if they don't have anyone in front, they don't have teachers in front, they start to they start to lose in that in that zone. Just imagine they are at home, uh, with the what the challenges in the devices and internet. Now they are at home, learning alone. So this lack of motivation to self learn can be one of the main challenges, depending. I think if they are in what you call it, in town area, of course, we're in city, yeah, they have so many things online. There's so many things online that can divert, because we can just open the tab and tap and tap. It's not like when you're on one screen you cannot see other things, right? Google can tell you everything now. And of course, because of that, we can see the challenges of to manage their time that they spend on computer and other things that that they have focusing except than the studies. And of course, the lack of confidence in academic and technology. I think I just share with you what actually strike me during that time. I think there's a one incident that happened online, whereby it become a joke to some group. They actually posting when the parents I think replying to the teacher said that, okay, we already logged in online, but why we cannot see anything. So then they actually show the photos that whereby they are supposed to actually key in the email address in order for the children to get access to Google Meet, right? And that shows that not every one of us know what is online learning, how to actually use this, we call it Google Meet, Zoom, or Team, or whatever is that, right? So in another way, sometimes the lack of the lack of confidence, or the lack of understanding in technology also can cause uh, parents, or cause a teacher have double work to do in order to make sure that they have every single student be on the same par as them. Just imagine if you have 10 students in the class, Andrea, and maybe only two of them do not know how to access to this Google Meet or online learning, or any other platform. But you have eight people, or eight students already stand by, to receive the learning from the teacher. And here the teachers are struggling to, how to guide people. If let's say we guide face to face, and actually when you try to guide people online, okay, how to click, which button to click, and all that. So eventually, they will spend more time in actually dealing with this technology confidence, rather than you have eight students that start to get bored because they are waiting for the class to start. So we can see this is one of the the challenges in technology. And another challenges that we can see, if this continues like this, Indria, the education gap that we already have in this country will become wider and wider, whereby people who get access to the devices, internet, and exposed into more confidence in the technology will gain more, will have more benefit, because they gain more information, whereby the student who do not have access to any one of the one that I mentioned before, they might actually lose interest in school, or they become shy to attend the school, because they feel that they actually way back, among all their peers. So they might actually end up say, okay, I say bye bye to school, or they just switch off their their camera, because they don't want to actually people to see how how low in their knowledge on the technology. So we can see the gap become wider. It's not we can ever include yet on the content. We just say that how confident is the technology also can cause students to be dismiss themselves in the pool of technology. Of course, technology is good, and we agree on this, technology is good, but how sure we are everyone are confident in in adapting to this new world, a new world of internet, online learning, and all that. And of course, when we talk about that, the economic has impacted. During this COVID-19, we've seen lots of parents lost their job. That maybe in Malaysia we have this level T20, M40, M40, and all these B40, right? I think, I'm pretty sure you are here because I know you are part of us now, Malaysian. Right, so when we have this level of people, and now we can see, because of the because of the economic constraint, people lost their job, they could not provide what they're supposed to provide to their children. And you can see more and more parents struggle to find the devices for the children, number one, to even to motivate their children to stay in school, because they need to earn. Yeah, they do not have time to really sit and support their children in this in this, what you call it, new world of education. So when they spend more time, when the children spend more time, there's a two side of the story. If let's say number one, student do not have any devices, any technology, any internet, and all that, they might lose in that transaction. The second, that student who have everything but no one controlling them, yeah, or basically guide them properly, they also might be lost into a different world. So we have two different kind of group of students, which actually what we are targeting in this project that we call one doors a visionary community project. That is the real objective of this program, Andrea. So the program if I may share, Andrea, the program is actually sharing. We will like to actually to have this helping our children, yeah, our community, our future, our next generation, not only by providing the laptops or providing internet for those who do not have access, but we are more focusing on how to motivate them to stay at school. Number one, yeah, to have interest in education, or at least to have a basic understanding on how to learn online, yeah, so they can basically maximize their online learning journey, yeah, so they can be still connected with the teachers, connected with the school, connected with their peers, and of course, that they can grow in their learning, even though if they need to stay at home, or they go to school. But now, luckily, we going the Malaysia already start schooling. But when we talk about we already go to school, that it does not diminish the our, what you call it, still we still need the technology even though we go to school, because now if we do not
We
have
already
that, we
changed,
do not
right,
have,
to
yeah,
different
knowledge
gadgets,
in
and even
the
schools are
sense,
applying new
yeah.
things.
Yeah, school is applying new thing. If let's say, just imagine if today my children go back to school, okay, they say, okay, let's go open back your your textbook. It seems like we still go back to the, go back to the traditional way of learning. So either we learn from, we study from home online, or we go to school now. The fact that technology education, the education transforming to using the technology is still needed, is still important. Yeah, either they go to school, because now, if last time we used to carry bag full of like textbooks and all that, now we should carry the laptops, right? Just basically like handbag and all that. So that is the way to move forward, because all these information are supposed to be at our fingers, right? So either we agree or not, like you say, I think we have talked about this before, yeah, either we like or not, either we can afford or not, we all can agree that technology is the way to go. Yeah, because if they do not expose, yeah, we do not expose to our youth or our next generation to this technology, it will be a challenge for them to be able to grab the more knowledge and information when they go to university later. Because once you step into university, now everything is about technology. You write your assignment using laptops, yeah, you using the screen, you don't no longer actually
So many good
writing.
insights, Emilia. Sorry to interrupt you, but we have a question. So I just would like to answer this question. Kalki is
Yeah.
asking, don't you think having studying most of their times through online mediums, children will be more prone to habitual of gadgets and similar things rather than indulging in healthy activities?
Great, great question. I think how to spell halik.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's the organization that he's leading. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you for that question. Okay. Don't you think you're having studying most of the time online medium, children will be more prone to habitual? Okay. Now, like I said just now, if let's say the student did not being properly, guide, yeah, they will spend their time in their in their computers or gadget. In fact, now even though before we start this pandemic, before we even convert our education to online, our children already start with their mobile phone, start with their iPad and gadget. That is one of the, what you call it, one of these proof that the children, if we do not control not control, or we do not create that awareness to them what is the importance and how to actually use the gadget, it become like that. So it is not necessary for them to, oh, if I study online all the way, then they become what you call it, stuck into that gadget. They already is stuck into the gadget. The question that we should have in mind, either they actually stuck in the positive way or in the negative way. Yeah, but of course I agree, I think I still agree that student need socializing. Yeah, they still need to go to school. Yeah, we cannot say, okay, we have to actually dismiss school, close the school, abandon school, and go everything online. No, I do not say that. If you ask me, as a parents, I still believe that my children need to go to school and socializing with others and all that. But what I try to mean is we need to technology need to be part of the education, because that's what the way moving forward. So anything that that can help, for example, in the class, instead of having books, for example, they can still be in the class having their laptops in front and do everything inside, so they can collaborate, using all these, what we call it, the gamification tools and all that. There's so many things nowadays called, like I think they call Kahoot, Mentimeter, Miro, that kind of activities, but they still children at the end of the day. If they need to go out and play sports and all that, let them be, right? But good thing about this, because when they have this they use this technology, one thing for sure, we know that technology can really help a student to learn beyond their around their area. For example, right, I think what we can have, if we see adults, so now during the pandemic we learn a lot. I think some of them even graduate from Harvard because they actually learning from the Harvard University and all that. Just imagine before this we need to have like student what you call exchange student. Right. Yeah, I used to actually heard about exchange student. Now we can even have this exchange student course without actually tentatively go to that place during this time, right? I can actually go and study with someone in, for example, in Africa, or someone in India can actually study student with us. And these student, once actually we really can, how to say, Andrea, really can expose to them in the positive manner, yeah, how to utilize this online learning, for example, we can actually build their networking skill since earlier age. Just imagine, Andrea, now we at this age, we know each other, we talk each other. I wish if, let's say, I can have this opportunity, Andrea, to know you when I maybe 8, 10 years old, right, Andrea? Maybe now we can be a good buddy really, because it's been like 20 over years.
That's true. That's true. It gives us opportunity to connect, although it's also disconnecting people, but it's also bringing people together, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So I get when we talk about wonders, okay, compares, or we're not comparing, but let's say if we talk about giving like the tops, devices and people, that is only the tools that we actually use. I think there's a more what we can give to the society. This, when we actually give that opportunity, when we provide the technology confidence coaching, mentoring like this, we really hope that we can bring people from, for example, from the other area, let's say from the no, outside from Kuala Lumpur, to mix with the student with Kuala Lumpur, for and vice versa. And what we want is every single of our children have opportunity to be children, but at the same time they actually at par as of course, if you ask I will prefer my children to at least run. When I small, we play badminton and all that, but now they play everything, online. They play everything. Okay. Yes, I agree. Great. There's a good point over there, Andrea. I think Khalid said, no doubt technology, internet are all useful as long as this usage controlled and monitored among children. Yes, if we allow children, just to have their own laptops, have internet, and okay, that's the teacher would give you, you just follow. You do not know what they do. Sometimes we need some, what you call it, we need some, they are young people. They need guidance, yeah, they need guidance, they need awareness, and they need someone to actually to coach them. And of course, as a parent, I don't say that we are not good. I am also a parent, but sometimes somehow our children, they listen to their teacher better than they listen to us, or they have a teach listen. I don't know now, maybe because this their parents, they see us every day, so they tend to say, okay, I will listen to others. So sometimes this interaction will really help. Yeah, we monitor, and of course, when they are given what you call it, a set of awareness, we also can reduce this, what we call sexual grooming online. How internet is good. Yeah, internet is good, but internet, if we do not really control certain things, we can see the growth of the sexual grooming online. And part of the thing that we cannot control is here. The world is so wide, it's not easy to control. Last time you can still control here and there, but they are smarter than you. So awareness is very important. So when we actually tend to actually give this technology, what you call it, big world in front of our children eyes, we also need to look into, okay, how to engage them, how to basically motivate them, to be able to see the good and the bad, the yin and the yang. That's what we say.
That's
uh,
a perfect example, actually, because there is good thing in it, there is bad thing in it, but both generations just needs to be aware of what you can teach to each other. Like I can
yeah,
tell to my parents that, oh, I have to sit in front of the computer because it's super important for me. All my friends are there, and the parents can be more patient for, but
yeah,
at the same time, they can also, I mean, the kids can understand also that it's good to be not in front of the computer and go out to the green and just play with your friends outside or do other activities, because that's what you see on the screen. It's not your whole life, although it's
yeah.
becoming very integrated part of our lives.
Yes, I agree with you. I think if I can share a little bit how this one doors, the project works. One doors, of course, we provide this technology, we provide the devices and technology confidence, but we do not go straight to the student. Yeah, basically, we are working hand in hand with the school. We are looking to work hand in hand with school or work aside with school. The reason why we do not go straight to the student, because we all believe that these whatever that the program or the project that we actually embarking is all to complement the current education system module that we have in this country, in Malaysia particularly. So by going straight to the student, we do not know what we can complement. So if let's say we can go and work hand in hand with school, we would know, okay, that school is at the different demographic area, for example, or the school have a different level of community, the student. So we will know what is the challenges, then the challenges, and also what the best solution that we can provide in the the coaching session that we have, the mentoring session that we have for the student, in collaboration with the schools, in collaboration with teachers. So when whatever that we coach or whatever that we mentor online by our certified coaches will also help the teachers when they want to start their online class later on. So that's not about what wonders can give, but what's actually we complement the school. So you can see the idea is, if let's say the school in town area, maybe the coaching will be slightly different. If they actually are at the maybe at the let's say the other state of the country, maybe the coaching will be different, because the idea is not to say, okay, this one door I have given you laptops and coaching. No, this is what actually you need for you to be able to to stay at school, to be engaged to the to engage to the studies that actually the school provided and all that. So I guess it's more like collaboration things with the local school, rather than actually to stand alone as the project. So we really actually to hope that this project works. The project can be copied, can be copied from one state to another, because it's not about what we actually give, but what basically we can complement school.
Yeah, I really
And
love the way how you put together the projects, that you are searching for sponsors, I believe, still now
yeah.
to get
Mhm.
the used laptops together, and then you provide the used laptops to the schools, and then the schools are assigning it to students, and the students have to give it back so it can be
Yes.
inherited throughout the different students and the years. So it's really a workable and very maintainable project that should
What
work.
we call
And
sustainable. I think whatever project that
yes.
I think we all think is all about sustainable. How can this project sustainable with us or with me or without me? So that is the most key point here. The project should be sustaining themselves. Should be actually can copy to one school to another, so we can see, we can actually together build not only one group of students, but every single student that we have in this country. We hope so.
I think that's the note of this conversation. We arrived to the end. It was amazing share. We had Kalik here, and we had Angela here, and we have Anis here. So really, really nice to have you all here, guys, and also people who are watching this later. Please reach out to
Yeah.
Emilia. You see the name here
Yes.
below me, and you can
So
just
you
reach
can,
out to me.
yeah, you can actually visit our website, www.onedos.com.my. You can see all the information, and the donation platform also connected to our onedos.com.my. So before we end, Andrea, thank you very much for giving this space, this small space and short time for us. And on behalf of the One Dos team and Yayasan Ilham Budi, thank you very much.
I'm happy to feature the project, so please send me the details and we will put it into the donation center platform on the website. It's already ready for receiving all the different communities and organizations like yours who are helping people. So make sure that we are listed there and people can find you better. And we will put there all the availabilities for the Wonders program. Thank you for everyone watching. I will go and have my little break in between sessions and have my afternoon break, and then see
Oh,
you again at 7 o'clock with an interesting conversation coming up. So please stay tuned. We have workshops today to do, and the first workshop this afternoon will be with Jay about think on your feet, speak on the fly. Jay is a beautiful speaker, and he can really take your attention, so you can learn a lot from him. He is tuning in from India. And then we will have Andreas
oh,
Dorn, our common friend, about mindset mastery and upgrade your beliefs and master your life. Two beautiful workshops for free just for you guys. So tune in and learn a lot. Thank you, Amelia, for the share. Please follow the Wonders
thank
Project.
you.
And thank you very much. Have a beautiful, beautiful afternoon.
Same to you, Andrea. Bye bye.
Bye bye.